What if I told you that the biggest warning sign of a serious fall after 60 isn't weak bones, but a small loss of balance most people ignore every single day? I've spent years working with older adults, and I've seen a pattern repeat itself again and again. The first signs are subtle. Someone starts reaching for the wall while walking down the hallway. They pause a little longer before stepping off a curb. Stairs suddenly feel less comfortable than they used to. None of this feels alarming at first, but these quiet changes are often the body's early signal that the systems responsible for balance are beginning to slow down. Here's the encouraging part. Balance is not something you simply lose with age. It's a skill your body can retrain, even in your 70s, 80s, or beyond. In the next few minutes, I'll show you 5 simple movements that help wake up the muscles and reflexes that keep you steady on your feet. And the best part, the entire routine takes just 5 minutes. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell, so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Exercise 1. The single leg stand reset. You might be surprised to hear this, but one of the earliest warning signs of declining balance is something incredibly simple: the inability to comfortably stand on one leg for a few seconds. Many older adults don't notice it happening. At first, you may just feel slightly unsteady while putting on socks, stepping out of the shower, or reaching into a cabinet. These small moments often reveal that the tiny stabilizing muscles in your legs and ankles have quietly become less active over time. The good news is that these muscles respond very well to gentle, consistent training, even in your 70s, 80s, or beyond. One of the safest and most effective ways to wake up those stabilizers is a movement called the single leg stand reset. It may look simple, but it directly trains the systems responsible for keeping you upright when your body is challenged. Before starting, choose a safe place in your home. A kitchen counter, a sturdy dining chair, or the back of a couch works perfectly. Many seniors in the United States like to practice this exercise in the kitchen while waiting for coffee to brew or while preparing breakfast. The key is having a stable support within arm's reach. Stand tall with your feet about hip-width apart. Keep your posture upright but relaxed. Imagine a gentle string pulling the top of your head upward so your spine stays long. Place 1 or 2 fingertips lightly on the chair or counter for support, not to lean your weight on, but simply to feel secure. Now slowly shift your body weight onto your left leg. Take your time here. Feel the foot spreading against the floor as your ankle muscles begin to activate. Next, lift your right foot just a few inches off the ground. There's no need to raise your knee high. In fact, lifting too high can make balance harder than necessary. A small lift is enough to challenge the stabilizing muscles. Focus your eyes on a fixed point straight ahead, such as a picture on the wall or the edge of a cabinet. This helps your brain coordinate balance signals more efficiently. Breathe normally and hold the position for about 10 seconds. You may notice your standing leg shaking slightly. That's completely normal. It simply means the small muscles around your ankle and hip are waking up and doing their job. After 10 seconds, slowly lower your foot back to the floor with control. Avoid dropping it quickly, then repeat the same movement on the other side. Aim for about 5 rounds per leg. A common mistake is rushing through the exercise. Slow, controlled movements are far more effective because they give your nervous system time to practice stabilizing the body. Another helpful tip: if you become comfortable holding the position, try reducing the amount of pressure on the chair. Eventually, many people find they can balance briefly without touching the support at all. With regular practice, this exercise strengthens the ankle, knee, and hip coordination that protects you when you step on uneven sidewalks, climb stairs, or walk across a parking lot. But balance doesn't depend on the legs alone. There's another hidden muscle group that quietly determines whether your body stays steady or suddenly shifts off balance. And in the next exercise, we're going to activate it in a way most people have never tried before. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. Exercise 2. Side leg lifts for hip stability. Many people assume that balance is controlled mainly by the feet or ankles, but here's something that often surprises my older patients. The real secret stabilizers that keep you from tipping sideways while walking are actually located in your hips. These muscles sit along the outer side of your pelvis and thigh, and they quietly work every time you step off a curb, turn around in the kitchen, or walk across a slightly uneven sidewalk. When they weaken, which commonly happens after age 60, the body begins to sway more with each step, increasing the risk of losing balance. Strengthening these hip stabilizers can dramatically improve the way you walk and move through daily life. One of the most practical exercises for this is the side leg lift, a movement that targets the gluteus medius muscle. This muscle acts like a stabilizing anchor for your pelvis, preventing your body from leaning too far to one side while you walk. To begin, stand beside a sturdy chair, kitchen counter, or even the edge of a dining table. Place one hand lightly on the surface for safety. Your feet should be about hip-width apart, and your posture should feel tall and relaxed. Imagine stacking your shoulders directly above your hips so your body forms a straight line. Now shift your body weight onto the leg closest to the chair. This will be your standing leg. Slowly lift the outer leg straight out to the side. The leg should remain straight, with the knee gently extended but not locked. You only need to raise the foot about 6 to 10 inches off the ground. Many people think lifting higher makes the exercise better, but that actually reduces its effectiveness because the body starts to lean to compensate. Instead, keep your upper body completely upright. Picture a glass of water resting on your head that you don't want to spill. When your leg reaches the top of the movement, pause for about 1 second. During that pause, you should feel a gentle tightening along the outside of your hip. Then slowly lower your leg back down toward the floor with control. Try to avoid letting the foot drop quickly. Ideally, the toes should lightly touch the ground before lifting again for the next repetition. Perform about 10 repetitions on one side, then carefully turn around and repeat with the other leg. Breathing is important during this movement. Exhale gently as the leg lifts and inhale as it lowers. A common mistake I see in many seniors is leaning the upper body away from the lifting leg. This shifts the work away from the hip muscles and places unnecessary strain on the lower back. Keeping your torso upright ensures the correct muscles are doing their job. With consistent practice, this exercise strengthens the muscles responsible for keeping your pelvis level while walking. Many older adults notice that after a few weeks, their steps feel steadier and their walking stride becomes smoother. But strong hips alone aren't enough to maintain stability as we age. The next exercise focuses on something many people overlook entirely: the small but incredibly powerful muscles in your lower legs that act like a natural pump for both balance and circulation. Exercise 3. Heel-to-toe rocking for stronger ankles and better circulation. Here's something most people don't realize until later in life. Many falls don't start with the hips or the knees, they start at the ankles. When you step onto a slightly uneven driveway, miss a step on the stairs, or shift your weight quickly while carrying groceries, it's the small muscles around your ankles that react first to keep you upright. Unfortunately, after the age of 60, these muscles often become weaker simply because modern life doesn't challenge them very much. We walk on flat floors, smooth sidewalks, and soft carpets. Over time, the ankle stabilizers stop reacting as quickly as they used to. That's where a simple but extremely effective exercise called heel-to-toe rocking can make a big difference. This movement strengthens the calves, the muscles along the front of the lower leg, and the stabilizers surrounding the ankle joint. It also improves circulation in the legs, something many older adults struggle with, especially after sitting for long periods. Start by standing behind a sturdy chair or at the kitchen counter. Place both hands lightly on the back of the chair for balance. Your feet should be about shoulder width apart. Keep your knees soft and slightly bent rather than locked straight. Good posture matters here. Stand tall with your chest open and shoulders relaxed. Now slowly rise up onto your toes. Lift your heels off the floor as high as comfortably possible, allowing your weight to shift toward the balls of your feet. Move slowly and with control, not with momentum. When you reach the top of the movement, pause for just a moment and notice the muscles in your calves tightening. Next, gently lower your heels back down until your feet are flat on the floor again. Don't rush this part. Lowering slowly strengthens the muscles even more. From that flat position, shift your weight backward and lift your toes off the floor so you are briefly balancing on your heels. Your toes will point upward while your heels stay planted. Then smoothly return your feet to the floor. That entire sequence, rising onto your toes, lowering back down, and lifting the toes, counts as one repetition. Aim for about 12 slow repetitions. The key to making this exercise effective is control. Many people make the mistake of bouncing quickly up and down, which reduces the muscle engagement and turns the movement into momentum instead of strengthening work. Another common mistake is leaning the upper body too far forward or pushing the hips back. Your torso should stay relatively upright so the ankles and calves do the work. There is also an important health benefit beyond balance. Doctors sometimes call the calf muscles the body's second heart. When they contract, they help pump blood from the legs back toward the heart. That means exercises like this can support circulation and reduce the feeling of heavy or tired legs. Practicing this movement daily helps your ankles react faster when your balance is challenged, like when stepping off a curb or walking across grass in the park. But balance in the real world doesn't only involve standing still or moving forward. Many falls actually happen when the feet cross unexpectedly during a turn, and the next exercise trains your body to stay steady even in those awkward moments. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. Exercise 4, the cross-step coordination drill. A surprising number of falls don't happen while walking straight ahead. They happen during small, ordinary moments, turning around in the kitchen, stepping around a coffee table, or pivoting to answer the phone. In those moments, the feet sometimes cross in an awkward way, and if the brain isn't used to coordinating that movement, the body can suddenly lose balance. This is why coordination training is just as important as muscle strength for older adults. One of the most effective ways to practice this skill safely is with a movement called the cross-step coordination drill. This exercise teaches your brain exactly where your feet are in space, something doctors call proprioception. As we age, that sense can become less precise, which is why people sometimes feel unsteady when turning quickly or stepping around obstacles. By training these patterns slowly and deliberately, you help your body regain confidence in those movements. To begin, position yourself behind a sturdy chair or at a kitchen counter. Rest one or both hands lightly on the support so you feel secure. Stand tall with your feet about hip-width apart. Relax your shoulders and keep your gaze forward rather than looking down at your feet. Shift your body weight onto your left leg. This leg will stay planted while the other foot performs the movement pattern. Now gently lift your right foot just an inch or two off the floor and tap it lightly on the ground in front of you. Think of it as a soft toe tap rather than a step, then bring your foot back to the starting position. Next, move the same foot out to the right side and tap the floor there. Again, return the foot to center. Here comes the most important part of the exercise. Carefully move your right foot across the front of your left leg and tap the floor on the left side of your body. Your legs will briefly cross, but because the movement is slow and controlled, your brain begins learning how to maintain balance even in that crossed position. After the crossover tap, return the foot to the center again. So the full pattern looks like this: tap forward, return, tap to the side, return, cross in front, return. Repeat this sequence slowly about 8 to 10 times. Once you finish one side, shift your weight onto the right leg and perform the same pattern with the left foot. The most important thing to remember is that speed is not the goal. In fact, moving slowly helps your nervous system learn the pattern much more effectively. A common mistake people make is rushing through the taps or allowing their upper body to lean too much. Try to keep your torso upright and steady while only the moving leg performs the taps. With regular practice, this exercise strengthens the communication between your brain, muscles, and joints. That coordination makes everyday movements, like turning around in the hallway or stepping out of the car, feel much safer and more controlled. But balance isn't controlled by muscles alone. Deep inside your inner ear is a system that acts like your body's internal compass, and the final exercise will train that system in a way that can dramatically improve your stability in everyday life. Exercise 5. Gentle weight, shifting to train your inner balance system. If you've ever stood up quickly and felt the room spin for a moment, or noticed that your body feels slightly unsteady when you close your eyes in the shower, you've experienced the influence of a part of your body called the vestibular system. This system sits deep inside the inner ear and works like an internal compass, constantly telling your brain where your head and body are in space. As we age, this system can become less responsive, especially if we rarely challenge it. The result is a feeling of wobbliness when turning, bending, or moving in low-light environments. Fortunately, there's a gentle exercise that can retrain this system safely, and it only takes a few minutes. This movement is called gentle weight shifting, and it teaches your body how to control balance by smoothly transferring weight from one leg to the other. It may seem simple, but it engages several systems at once: your inner ear, your leg muscles, and the sensory nerves in your feet. To begin, stand in a comfortable open space in your home. Many people like to practice this near the kitchen counter or behind a sturdy chair, so support is available if needed. Place your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. This wider stance creates a stable base and helps you feel secure as you start the movement. Let your arms hang naturally at your sides and keep your shoulders relaxed. Your knees should be slightly soft, not locked straight. Good posture is important here. Imagine your head gently lifting upward while your chest stays open. Now slowly shift your body weight towards your right leg. You don't need to lean dramatically. Simply allow your weight to settle into the right foot until you feel the leg carrying most of your body weight. Pause for a moment and notice how your muscles respond to keep you stable. Then gradually move your weight across your body toward the left leg. Again, pause briefly once the weight transfers. Continue this gentle side-to-side motion as if your body were swaying like a calm pendulum. Keep both feet on the floor the entire time. The goal is weight transfer, not stepping. Move slowly and smoothly for about 30 to 40 seconds. Once you feel comfortable with the motion, you can increase the challenge slightly. If you are standing near support and feel safe, try briefly closing your eyes for a few seconds while shifting your weight. Without visual input, your brain relies more heavily on signals from the inner ear and feet, strengthening your natural balance system. However, safety is always the priority. If you feel dizzy, simply open your eyes and hold the chair or counter. Many seniors find that practicing this movement daily improves their confidence while walking in dim lighting, getting out of bed at night, or navigating unfamiliar environments. What makes this exercise so valuable is that it trains balance in a very natural way. The same way your body stabilizes itself during everyday movements like reaching for something on a shelf or turning toward a conversation. And now that you've learned all 5 movements, there's one important question that determines whether these exercises truly transform your balance or simply remain another good idea you tried once, and the answer might surprise you. A steady future starts with what you do today. There is a quiet truth about aging that many people don't talk about enough. The body doesn't suddenly become fragile overnight. Instead, small changes happen gradually. Muscles react a little slower. Joints feel slightly less stable. The brain takes an extra moment to coordinate movement. These changes are completely normal, but if we ignore them, they can slowly increase the risk of losing balance, especially during everyday activities like getting out of bed at night, stepping into the shower, or walking down a dimly lit hallway. For adults over 60, balance is not just about physical strength. It's about independence, confidence, and safety. A single fall can change daily life in ways many people never expect. It can mean weeks of recovery, fear of walking outside, or relying on others for tasks that once felt effortless. That's why understanding how balance works and actively training it becomes one of the most important forms of self-care as we age. The 5 simple exercises you've just learned are not complicated, but they target the most important systems that keep you upright: the stabilizing muscles in your legs and hips, the responsive strength in your ankles, the coordination between your brain and your feet, and the inner ear system that quietly keeps your body oriented in space. Each movement may seem small on its own, yet together they help rebuild something incredibly valuable: trust in your own body. What matters most is consistency, not intensity. Just 5 minutes a day can gradually retrain muscles and reflexes that may have been inactive for years. Many seniors begin noticing subtle changes within a few weeks. Standing up feels steadier. Walking becomes more confident, and everyday movements require less conscious effort. Now think about the future. Imagine yourself 1 year from now or even 5 years down the road. The habits you build today will shape how you move, how you walk, and how confidently you live during those years. Choosing to strengthen your balance now is not just about preventing falls. It's about protecting your freedom, your mobility, and your quality of life. Your body is incredibly adaptable, even later in life. With the right movements and a little daily attention, it can continue supporting you in ways that allow you to stay active, independent, and steady on your feet. And remember, staying balanced isn't just about exercise. There are a few small daily habits often overlooked by seniors that can quietly weaken your stability over time. Before you finish today, it's important to understand what those hidden mistakes are and how easily they can be corrected. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.